A 4-year-old girl who had absolutely no idea as to what it feels like to get into water was one day randomly dragged to the pool and pushed to swim in the literal sense. But you know what? That's when she realized that water is where she belongs and the home is her and the pool is her home. And this is my story. So, before I start talking about why I'm here for, I want to narrate a small incident to you guys. So, about 4 years back in 2015, when I just graduated from school and I was giving swimming trials for different colleges in Delhi University, some of my teachers from school told me that, Aashna, it'll be so easy for you to get into a college of your choice. All you need to do is put your hand on any one college and you'll get it. Maybe did not have any wrong intentions because they thought I was good enough and capable enough to get into a good college. But this really hit me hard. And that day I got to know that the general perception of people was that it was so easy for us sports people to get anything that we wanted and that we always had the easy way out. But what they did not know is the amount of hard work that goes behind reaching that place, where you become so good and where people acknowledge you. So today, I'm going to talk about the life of an athlete through my personal experience as a swimmer and how this sport has completely changed me as a person and, had a really deep impact on me. Alright, so whenever we see a sports person, what is the first thing that we generally see? Naturally, we tend to notice the body of the person, the physique, and how that person looks. And again, it comes very naturally to us. We often make judgments like, oh, he's so thin, how can he play badminton? Or, oh, he's so short, how can he play basketball? Why go far, guys? Just look at me, standing right in front of you. I've honestly lost count of the number of people who've come up to me and told me that, Aashna, how on earth are you a national level swimmer because you're not tall? Well, irony is that my lovely roommate Rupandi, who's sitting right here, is 9 inches taller than me, but she's still so scared of getting into the pool. So it was back in 2013 when I was in 11th when I realized that it's not only physical strength, but mental strength also that helps you win races. So I was at Talkatora Stadium for the trials of Junior Nationals that were to be held at Hyderabad that year. And it had been just a year I started competitive swimming and this would be my second Nationals if I got through. So as soon as I came out of the pool after doing my warm-up, my coach came up to me and he told me that Aashna, I've signed you up for the 1500-meter race, which is the longest and the toughest event in swimming. So first I thought that he's playing a prank on me. But when I got to know that he's serious, I was just like, why? Why would you do that to me? So I was so apprehensive, not because I could not do it, but because I was not mentally prepared for it. And I was super underconfident and I thought, what is the point of participating in this race when I know I'm not even going to come in the first 3 positions and I'll unnecessarily waste so much energy which I can reserve for other events. So just when I was about to get my name cut off the list, my mother came up to me and she accompanies me in all competitions. So she came up to me and she just told me one thing. She said, Aashna, don't quit. All I want you to do is to complete the race, even if it means coming last. So here's the thing with me. I hate coming last. I hate losing. Or most of the time fear losing. And ask the people who play Mafia with me. They'll happily agree. So, I was like, okay, fine, I have no choice. Now I have to compete in the race. So I started making strategies in my mind as to how not to come last, even if it meant coming second last. So when I was standing on the podium, I told myself that, okay, fine, I'll keep pace with everyone else and try to hold on to them as long as I can because I had nothing to lose. So the whistle blew and the race started. After 100, 200 meters, I realized that I was at pace with everyone else and I was at par with everyone else. So I told myself, oh good, you're not that bad, you're not coming last, you can do this. But after 400 meters, I realized that I'd overtaken everyone. And I was slightly ahead of them, say 6 to 7 meters. So I don't know what happened to me at that point of time. And I just told myself that now I have to push myself and go for gold and I have to get this and I have to win this. So with every turn, with every somersault and with every lap I was completing, I was forcing myself to, to swim a little faster. And after 1400 meters, when the bell for the last 2 rounds rang, I realized that I was 50 meters ahead of everyone. I was one whole lap ahead of everyone. So after 21 minutes, I finished the race. Not to my surprise, but to everyone else's surprise, I also came first. And that is when the whole stadium stood up and clapped for me. So this race turned out to be a turning point in my life because firstly, it shaped my swimming trajectory because after that I went on to represent Delhi in all nationals as a long distance swimmer. But what was more important for me was that it made me a much, much more confident person. And I realized that I unnecessarily underestimated myself and I was so much more confident than I thought. And I also realized that it's not only physical strength, it's all in here, it's all psychological. It's 90% mental and only 10% physical because there's so little that separates you physically. So today, whenever I feel like quitting, I always remember what my mother told me that day, that winners never quit and quitters never win. I mean, how was I supposed to know how capable I was if I'd quit back then? So today, I fear not losing, but I only fear not trying. Alright, so after the junior nationals happened, I was on a roll, guys. I was on a winning streak and I used to win all competitions. So there were 3 major competitions that were coming up in that year, Delhi State and 2 nationals, and everyone was rooting for me and everyone had their bets placed on me. And they were also expecting me to get a national medal. So was I because I was confident. So this one race in Delhi State where I thought that I'll win, I could not even finish in the top 3 positions. And that is when I had my first shock and I was taken a little aback. So after that, there were a few back-to-back consecutive races where I could not perform as good. And that is when my confidence really dipped and I became very, very underconfident. And forget getting a medal in nationals, I could not even qualify for nationals. So that is one time in my life when failure really took on me. I mean, I'd experienced it mildly before, but this time, it was something that I wasn't able to come out from. And I was having some internal sort of conflict in my mind because at one point I did not know what to do. But on the other hand, I did not want to quit. And, I just didn't want to give up. So that is when I decided that I'll take some months off swimming and I'll concentrate on myself and work on myself. And that is when I decided, I started actually preaching the mind over matter thing by talking to myself. So I would continuously keep talking to myself and every day I would reinforce it to myself and remind myself how badly I wanted to win. Win not against my opponents but against my fear of losing, which was so deeply embedded in me. I think the problem of me fearing losing came from the environment I was brought up in. First my school and then SRCC, where we were always made to believe that, life is a race and if you don't win, you'll be like a broken anda. And I did not want to be that broken anda. So, as I'm talking, this dialogue from Ye Jawani Hai Diwani is coming to my mind where Bunny tells Naina that, मैं उड़ना चाहता हूँ, मैं दौड़ना चाहता हूँ, मैं गिरना चाहता हूँ, बस मैं रुकना नहीं चाहता हूँ. And now I feel if Salman Khan can do a race 3 and, get 100 crores, I can definitely do a race and win it. So, in the first few months of YIF, when the phase 1 of placements just started, and there's a lot of conjecture for those who watch Coffee with Karan. There's a lot of conjecture around me getting shortlisted in 3 companies. And often people used to come up to me and tell me that, "Arey, now you've gotten shortlisted in 3 companies. 3 में से एक तो तुम्हें मिल ही जाएगी यार." But who knew that one person would take it all away? But here I am, guys, alive and kicking. Only if Ashoka's dream companies could define my dream. But if probably this had happened to me about 4 years back, I would have flipped. But probably, the only thing that kept me going and kept me sane was because I'd learned how to cope up with failures. I've had my own share of ups and downs and I've become a much, much stronger person. Okay, so sacrifice. This one thing, this one word that entails a lot in it. So when I decided I'd enter into competitive swimming back when I was in 10th grade, I knew that it would take a lot of me. In fact, it would take everything I had. And if I were to be in this, I was to be in this completely. And I also knew that I couldn't have done this alone. He said, we will go when I went, and if you're in this, we're in this together. So Since the past 6 years, my routine has been to get up at 3 in the morning, go for swimming sessions, back to school, and from school straight away back to the pool. And some 15 hours later, at around 8 o'clock, I used to return back home and immediately sit down to study till late at night, and then sleep to just follow the same drill the next day. And for someone like me, a lot of people know this, who sleeps like a bear in hibernation, it was so difficult to, not have that much sleep and sleep for only 4 hours in a day. So, and it was not just physical strain. I had such a tough time maintaining my studies with swimming, especially in 12th, which is such a crucial year for me. And I would juggle between the pool and my tuitions, between water and books. And I think more than the time I spent at home, I must have spent more time traveling from one place to another and, in the pool. And because of this, my social life went on for a toll. And being the socialite that I am, I can't even tell you the amount of FOMO that I used to have, when I used to miss parties and gatherings. So, I'd made this theory, this great theory, which I call it. So, there were 4 S's in my life, which was swimming, social life, studying, and sleeping. And if I had to do 2 S's, I had to S the other 2, which was sacrifice the other 2. But I realized that everything has an opportunity cost, and that if you're willing to win, you also should be willing to lose. Alright, so today I can't imagine my life without swimming. When I was a little girl, little did I know that this simple hobby of mine would go on to become my passion and now a part of me, a part of my identity. There's this joke which goes around life that I have 99 gold medals, but guys, let me tell you that swimming for me is much, much more than just medals or trophies or certificates. It's my way of life. It's taught me so much. It's taught me to challenge myself at every point, to push myself, and it's just taught me how to just keep swimming. Just swim upstream towards my goals and away from my weaknesses, and just keep swimming through the odds. And being the big Bollywood buff that I am, I want my life to be like a big blockbuster Bollywood movie, where until I succeed and achieve my goals, the picture abhi baki hai mere dost dialogue always holds. Thank you.